Namaste, friends. A very good morning and good evening. Welcome to day 8, Celebrating Oneness. Today we are having Simmi Thakurji from Australia team. So I want Simmi ji, please introduce about this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, friends and masters. Thank you for having me on this platform. Um, my name is Simmi, and I have been in this spiritual journey from when I was born, because I was born in a very religious and spiritual family. Um, and I'm very honored to be on PSSM Australia representing in my team. My mom is from PSSM Global in US, so I've come through my mom into this family. So thank you, Masters, for having me on this platform. Um, I was always a very deeply curious person. Um, I always thought what drives us, what shapes us, why we do the things we do. So that curiosity always followed me through everything. So that took me onto this journey into meditation, and I developed, the curiosity into knowing who I was and where I came from. So I got into meditation through that journey. So my journey in Australia has been I've been here for 32 years, and I've run businesses in educational toys. So I had my 3 stores serving little children for developmental needs. So my passion has always been with uh, children and their development. So I used to travel around the world doing trade shows, meeting all sorts of people. So I got more curious about all different type of people who did different meditations, followed different religious paths, and why they were the way they were. And so my journey led into, more of serving special needs children. So I was very blessed with that. And currently I'm working with IAP, which is Australian Institute of Psychology, as a career counselor. And I help people in their path of their career. And I'm a counselor myself. So I'm very privileged for this journey that the universe has led me into. So very grateful. I'm very grateful to my masters, Patriji, that has led me. He's in my life, and Mahavtar Babaji, and my guru, my first guru, which is Guruji from Bada Mandir. So he was my first Guruji that my spiritual journey started from. So that's about me. From the business, the motherhood, the career changes, meditation has been quite consistent in my life. A practice that almost gave me grounding and also helped me come back to me, back to my own journey, to myself, to the focus where I was leading, for service. So I've been in service all my life, helping children, helping them grow, and now I'm doing
Mhm.
service with PSSM Australia. So I'm very grateful to be
Mhm.
on that path. Thank you.
Wow, that's a great journey, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your meditational journey. Really wonderful to know about your from how you started and how you are right now. That's really beautiful. Can you please start the program and introduce this program and lead this session
Sure,
forward?
sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Masters, we'll go into meditation now. So, if we can all sit in a comfortable position. If you're wearing spectacles, please take your spectacles out. Rest your body, clasp your fingers, close your eyes, and take a really deep breath. and be with yourself. Be with your normal, natural breath. There's nothing required of you. You don't need to do anything. Your body is not required to do anything. Just be with your normal, natural, flowing breath in and out. Masters, last 5 minutes. Masters, last 2 minutes. Try to come back slowly. Last minute. When you're ready, rub your hands and put them on your eyes slowly, and with a beautiful smile, open your eyes. Welcome back, Masters. Welcome. Welcome back, everyone. I'm very honored to welcome Hitesh sir. He's our guest speaker for PSSM Australia. Hitesh sir, welcome to PSM Australia. Hitesh Vashisht is a founder of Life and Here, Life Here and Now, a transformative initiative dedicated to helping individuals create a meaningful change through meditation, healing, and conscious coaching. He's the author of the bestseller book, as we all know, Sundaram Speaks Conversations to Awaken Your Soul, Soul's Wisdom, and is widely recognized as a award-winning coach, a healer, and a workshop leader with 20 years of experience in the field of human behavior and personal transformation. An international certified consciousness coach accredited by Certified Coaches Alliance, CCA Canada, and International Coach Federation, ICF. Hitesh has been guiding people through path of meditation and inner awakening for more than a decade and a half. His expertise in multiple healings and transformational modalities include past life regression, life between lives, inner child healing, family constellations, ancestral healings, rebirthing, breathwork, amongst others. Over 750 workshops conducted along with his beautiful wife, Subhangi Sharma. He has empowered thousands of people rediscover clarity, emotional well being in their lives. Holding a master's degree in human resource management, Hitesh also brings diverse corporate experience in industries like apparel, fashion, in real estate, education, automotive, and telecom. Over the years, he has coached CEOs around the world, celebrities, social media people, influencers, bureaucrats, doctors, teachers, homemakers, and little children of all ages, inspiring them to realize their innate potential and create extraordinary lives. Hitesh continues to be a sort of speaker and guest all over various platforms that focuses on spirituality, relationships, mental health, consciousness, and past life explorations. So I would like to welcome Hitesh sir on this platform for our topic, which is five uh, journeys of God. Sorry, I've missed it. So welcome to platform. I open this to you. Welcome.
Thank you. Namaste, namaskar.
Namaste,
Thank you,
namaste. What an honor. I've misspelled or said things. I'm very nervous.
thank you.
I'm
I
so
am,
fortunate to have you. This is
yeah,
a moment for me, divine moment. Thank you.
for me as well. And thank you very much for having me. And it was beautiful the way you introduced me. I'm humbled by all your words. Thank you very much for that. And
Thank
I'm
you.
really excited to be a part of this group which is going in, happening in Australia. You guys meditate every day. I'm very happy to see all the progress, and all this is happening all over the world. It's kind of a revolution. My best wishes to each one of you. And first of all, I apologize for being late. I had some commitments, and because of which I got a little late. So I wanted to ask you, should I be using both the languages, or it is going to be about just English? So just let me know. Is it Hindi or English, or just English?
Uh,
English?
English
Great.
is good, I think.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So friends, today we are going to talk about the 5 states of God realization. Okay? Because when I say 5 states of God realization, it's like 5 levels of our consciousness. When we are on this journey of knowing thyself, knowing our own self, we pass these 5 steps, like one step, second step, third step, fourth step, and ultimately we reach to the fifth step. And sometimes these steps are crossed in a single lifetime. Sometimes we take several lifetimes on a step, and then we move to the next step, and then we move to the next step, you know, and so on and so forth. So we keep climbing these layers of consciousness till the time we reach to the fifth one and we realize our real potential. So I would try to break down these 5 states for all of us so that we are able to understand at which level of consciousness we are on and what can we do, to further move ahead. At the same time, I also wanted to share that none of these state is less or more. They all work equally because the essence of all of them is same, right? For example, the water that you take from an ocean or from a river or from a sea, the very nature of the water is to flow. The essence is flow. In the same manner, wherever level of consciousness, whichever level of consciousness or the state that you are on, but you're still connected. Your essence remains the same. So, the very first one, which we say is God is an idol, wherein we say God is an idol. So, when I say God is an idol, I try to see God in a in a in a kind of a what we say is a kind of pratima. I see the image of the God. In Hindi, we call it a murti. You try to see it in the form of an image, a humanly image wherein the image is having just like the organs like us, wearing clothes, trying to portray something to us. Now when we are at this level of consciousness, we see this is me and this is God. When I say this is God, that means the idol is the God, that which is in front of me is the God. And so I treat that pratima, that all the sculpture which is set in front of me, I treat it as God. And therefore, I treat it as a living organism, a living person, living, walking, feeling, emotional being, a divine being. I see it like that. And that's where I start to, foray into the world of bhakti. I get into the zone of devotion. I feel that this idol, which is right there in front of me, is much more than me. It is divine than me. And therefore, I will pray to the idol. I will say, oh, I am feeling problems in this. I have this. I want this. All the things, all the grievances I have, all the grudges I have, all the problems I have, all the good things I have, all not so good things I have. I share it in front of the idol. And that's how I begin to form a connection with divine. Because I feel this is no more a rock. This is more of a God who is sitting, living with me. That is the first level of consciousness. Because to know God, the first thing we do is we see it in the rock. We started with that. Okay. Then we move to the next one. The next one is called God is a story. Now that I have understood that this is God, the sculpture is a God, but now what is this sculpture trying to show me? Now, if I say, oh, Lord Shiva is shown, he's meditating, and Goddess Lakshmi, or, any kind of a goddess, Durga is shown with 8 hands, Goddess Kali is shown up with, the tongue coming down from the mouth, and sometimes we see Mahavishnu who's sitting right on, Sheshnag as a mattress. He's serving as a mattress to Bhagavan Vishnu. So we see several things, but in this stage, we begin to understand what are they trying to show up by their presence. Now, if I say Goddess Lakshmi is holding, lotus, and she's sitting on a lotus, what does it mean? Here, we begin to question. we begin to ask why they are shown up the way they are shown up. If I say Lord Vishnu is shown up with, the skin tone which is blue in color, right? What does it mean? Why is he shown with the blue skin tone? What does that mean? I begin to question, because only when I begin to question, I see the story behind what is being shown in the idea. I begin to see that. And then I begin to understand through their stories also, whatever scriptures we have, the Itihas that we have, the Ramayana, Mahabharata, and different Purans that we have, the Upanishads we have. We begin to understand God from stories that are being shared with us. And then we begin to find out the meaning of that. For example, if I say, before, like we all know, before we do any auspicious work, anything, something new, beginning, we call upon or we invoke the energies of Lord Ganesh. Now, what does it mean? What does Lord Ganesh typify? He typifies the power of intention. He's the Lord of intention. He sets our intent in the right direction, because there could be several kinds of intents, the pure or the impure, but he speaks about the right intent which can take you to your destination. Okay. It's not about good or bad. It's about setting the intent clear, what you want. God is not averse to, oh, you should not have this or you should only aim for that. He just wants that you should have a set of the clarity. And that's what he speaks about. Because when we are clear, we are wise. When we are unclear, we are not in touch with the wisdom inside. And this is what he says. He says that when we invoke him, we invoke the right sense of intent, clarity, and wisdom. And that's why he's invoked first before all other deities. Same way, if I speak about, let's say, uh, Lord Vishnu. Now, I said that his skin is being shown in the orange, the blue skin tone. Why is he shown with the blue skin tone? Because if I look at the sky, especially the sky that you have in Australia, most beautiful sky, beautiful, gorgeous blue sky. Although the sky does not have its color, but it is seen as blue. And same way, if I look deep down in the waters, in the ocean, and you talk about your Great Barrier Reef, most beautiful drive one can ever have, most beautiful waters. The water has no color, but it comes to us as if it is, you know, blue in color. So, blue talks about the vastness. It speaks about the depth. It speaks about there's no end and there's no beginning. And that's what Lord Vishnu, typifies. He says there is no end and there's no beginning to him. you know. So, he speaks about the infinite possibilities that we want to tune into. All of us, we say, oh, universe is filled with multiple and infinite possibilities. But our the great sages who actually drew these images, they had all the knowledge already. They tapped into the wisdom, they realized it, and that's how they showed it up in the pictures. And same way, if we talk about uh, let's say if I talk about Lord Shiva, he's wearing uh, the necklace of the snake, a serpent. So serpent is basically a symbol of awareness. So he speaks about someone who is aware all the time. And that's why he's shown meditating all the time. You will not see him resting or, you know, doing any other thing. He's always meditating. And also, it is it can also be seen in the divine energy spots. Like if you go to Vishnu temples, you will see there will be a visiting hour. Like you go to a temple and you can visit to this, like you start at 6 o'clock in the morning and the visit is available till 11:30. And then in the evening you come and you can visit. So he lives like a grihastha. Like when we go to someone's home, we do not go to their places when it is afternoon. We don't ring their bells because we know they might be resting. It could be a time for them to be, doing their own personal agenda, taking care of their own personal agenda. But on the contrary, If you see Shiva's temple, it is open day in and day out. There is no lunch hour, evening, and although there are artis happening, because he's being shown as a detached. He's not a grahastha. Although he's adopted grahastha, but he's more of somebody who is detached, who lives yet is not attached to anything. So that is what his nature being shown by different symbols around. And so friends, here we have a curious mindset. And that's what Patriji encouraged everybody. He said that we should have us, we call it spiritual and scientific temperament. Try to understand everything from the space of why it is shown up like this, why this, why Goddess Saraswati is holding, Veena in her hands, and why not any other goddess. It's about questioning, because only when you question, the symbols and the stories of the gods are going to speak through you. And the more they speak through you and to you, they are going to expand your state of consciousness. And then when your state expands, you no more see them as symbol. You no more see them as, somebody who's just here. It is much more than them. You begin to see them who's present everywhere. So once you understand God is an idol, you move to God is a story or a symbol. Then you move to the third one, which we call as God is the energy. Now, here, when you begin to understand from the state of symbols and stories, you realize God is everywhere. It's not just about outside, it's also inside. Now you begin to experience God inside. For example, let's say you are an ardent follower of Lord Hanuman. And the moment I talk about Lord Hanuman, the chills rise in your body. You feel as if some beautiful energy coming and engulfing you. What is it? It is the God shown up in the form of energy. Right? Many of you, maybe you feel so much drawn to, let's say, Mahavatar Babaji, right? Then the moment I take his name, the chill rise above your spine. They begin to show up some chills, and you feel that sense of excitement. Your heart expands. This is what the God shows up. God now shows up in the form of energy. What happens when you meditate? When you close your eyes, you begin to feel the sensations, the vibrations inside your body, right? This is nothing but the presence of God. Now, God is no more an image. From the form, you have moved to no form. From Sakar to Nirakar. Now you're moving to that. And this state is considered to be deeper state, because it is right in the middle of all the five states. So it's a halt station. Here, what happens is from the external, you move internal, because the other two states want you to keep your eyes open, right? You see and then you interpret in the second one. And the first one, you only see. But in third one, you begin to close your eyes. From Bahir Mukhi, you become Antarmukhi. That means you turn inward. And when you turn inward, you begin to realize God nowhere else but within you. You realize it in the form of energy, sensation, vibration, tingling, the energy which is right there in the tip of your toe, or it is right there at the top of your head. It's everything one and the same thing. Now, here at this stage, we also begin to realize like this is not the end. There's much more to that. As we keep moving from here, we are taken to the fourth state of consciousness. The fourth state of consciousness says God is within. Now that you have realized that the energy which is moving inside of me is giving you an experience of God, and then you question. What is the question? Where is God? Is it outside or inside? And you begin to realize it is within. And so many Upanishads, so many, our ancient textures, I mean, kind of scripts have spoken about this. For example, there is this Mahavakya which is given in our Upanishad, which says, Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi means you are that. That which you are seeking, you're already that. So here, like You end up seeing, let's say, if I see an apple, if I see a tree, if I see myself, if I see my finger, if I see my mobile, if I see my AC remote and any other thing, everything begin to be that, because the God is living inside that. Now, here at this stage, when we talk about God, we don't finger it like this. We say, oh, God is not there. Now we say God is inside because God sits inside. So God is within me. So that which I'm seeking is within me. To give you an example, let's say if I begin to cut down my finger, I begin to, let's say cut it into pieces. For example, if I cut my finger, the bone is going to come, the inside flesh and the blood. And from the blood, if I keep illuminating and keep going deeper, 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 I would end up to, electron, neuron, and proton, and then I keep going deeper, 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 deeper. There will come a space where there is nothing, right? There is nothing. I I'm just saying it nothing, but it cannot be termed as nothing. For our understanding, we name it as nothing. Like Buddha also said it as nothingness. But it cannot be named, it cannot be interpreted, it cannot be deciphered like that. It is something which is there, which is empty, which is nothing, which is zero, which is shunya. And now if I do the same thing to an apple, I keep using the power of my elimination. And in the end, there is nothing. So what does it tell us? It says it is that nothing which is the nucleus of the apple. And it is the same nothing which is the nucleus of my finger. And it is the same nothing which is the nucleus of my mobile. It is the same nothing of me, you, and everything. And that's why we say it is within. God is within. Now, consider I have gold earrings, and then I have a gold necklace, and then I have a gold bangle. It might look to us a bangle, necklace, an earring, but at the end, it is a gold, right? Can you, melt the necklace and turn it into a bangle? Can you do that? It's possible. But what is going to stay forever is the element gold. Same way, I once I have used this body, it is going to be melt. I'm going to experience death, and then I'm going to transform into something else. Same way, once something decays, an apple goes to an end, it decays. The seed is left, and seed gives birth to another apple or maybe an apple tree. So this is the form. The outside form keeps moving, but the inside essence of ours remains same. And that's why we say it is within. That which we are seeking is within. It's inside of us. And then we begin to realize that what am I searching for? All these years, whatever I was looking for, it is actually inside of me. Rumi said, that which you're seeking is within you. It's inside of you, because all these mystics and sages, they actually felt it inside. So that is the wonder of the fourth state, when we say God is within. Then we reach to the fifth state, when we keep progressing and realizing, because there is no end to realization, right? We keep evolving. The fifth state says, I am the God. This is the last one, when we say, I am the God. So when I say I am the God, it's not the God which is sitting inside. It's the God showing up in as a physical body. It's not the God who's just a spiritual element sitting inside of us. It is the physical element of mind is also the God, is an extension of the God, and therefore is the God. In Hindi, we say sher ka bacha sher, which means a lion will only give birth to a lion, cannot give birth to a pigeon or a sparrow or a goat. It cannot. It is not possible. This is what it means. That means when you walk with as a living, walking God. And that's why Patriji, whenever he would address people, what would he say? He would say, my dear friends, my dear masters, and my dear gods. Now, If somebody coming from, let's say, first and second state of consciousness, they would say, this, what is it, this person speaking? But he spoke from the highest truth. He spoke from the highest level of consciousness. He spoke from the deeper truth of our Upanishads, which says, Aham Brahmasmi. I am God. Ravan used to say this, Aham Brahmasmi. Now, when I say Aham Brahmasmi, it is not coming from a space of ego. Rather, if it comes from the space of ego, that means we have fully not realized that I am the God. I'm the living, walking God. Because, like the God, the supreme consciousness never exclude anything. It includes day as much as it includes night. It includes good as much as it includes negative. That good, bad, positive, negative, everything is welcomed and included. That is the supreme consciousness. The supreme consciousness carries a sense of equanimity to everything. And that's what we become. We become open to all the experiences of life. Like in our plate, if we have several cuisines, some of them are spicy, some of them are sweet and salty, and then some of them are sour and some bitter, we feel fully whole and complete. We enjoy that meal. We feel, oh, what a beautiful meal I had. Otherwise, if you only keep eating salty food, there would come a time you will say, oh, I want to have a piece of chocolate, or I want to eat some brownie, or something like that. And if you keep eating brownie, you will say, no, now I want something to, it's all sweet, sweet around. I want something to be salty, feeling salty. It's exactly like that, which means here in this state, we live like God. God is in allowance of everything. If God was not in allowance of everything, he would only make best people to come here. Rest all will be chucked off. But he is allowing everybody to live equally. We all are welcomed here. Even if we are living from different states of consciousness, our vibes are different. Maybe we don't like other and we like somebody dearly and we don't like someone. But everybody is welcomed here. And that is the state of equanimity. Not just to outside, but to all the experiences of our life. We take all the experiences close to our heart. We see beauty in everything, meaning in everything, because whatever exists, it has a meaning. That which does not have a meaning would never exist, would never come to an existence. So here we begin to see lotus is, beautiful. At the same time, the mud is also beautiful. We see beauty in both of them. We see beauty in duality, not just in singularity or what is non-dual. We see beauty in everything because we realize if there is no mud, there can be no lotus. So lotus is what? Lotus is basically the search for the truth. It is your spiritual self. What is mud? Mud is the physical reality. Because some of us, we feel, oh, I've been caged and trapped in my physical reality. I want to leave everything and I just want to move to the spiritual reality. But the spiritual reality will only make sense when you have the physical reality. The water will only make sense to you when you're thirsty. If you're not thirsty, you will never search for water. If you're never hungry, you will never search for food. Same way, if I have challenges in life, this challenge is the fuel for me to know who I am. And that's where the God self lies. God self is an allowance of all these experiences. And not just the outside, also the inside. Now, there are different parts inside of me. There is a part, these are light parts, and there are parts inside of me which are shadows, which I don't like, to admit inside of me. But the God self welcomes everything. It takes its light and shadows equally. When we begin to acknowledge all the parts of us in an equal manner, we live like God. Then we don't need superpowers to do magic and everything and manifest something from thin air. We don't need to. We are gods. So that's how we all cover these 5 states of consciousness. And friends, meditation is a great way to climb up, you know, to move through these states of realizations. It can really, open the doors where the doors have not been opened yet. And I feel immensely uh, happy, joyful that we all are on the path of meditation, because meditation is the PhD of everything. When you see the figures of God, they are not shown doing anything, but they are shown meditating. So you're already following what the gods have been showing. So on this note, thank you. Thank you very much. And I hope this small sharing makes, some essence, makes some value, adds value to your life. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Masters, if you have any questions, can we take some questions, sir?
Yes, 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 please.
Hello, Simmi. I have my hand raised.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. Namaste, sir. It's
Namaskar.
great pleasure to have you on PSSM Australia side. Thank you. My question is, sir, in these days, a lot of spiritual masters, you hear on the YouTube a lot of saying that the stories about Ram, Krishna, everything is, not real. They all are imaginary characters. They are not energies and all those things you hear. But at the same time, on the contrary, I hear like we do follow a lot of people say that archangels, Michael, and all those exist. So that create a contradiction. Are we not acknowledging the gods and what we in India or Hinduism ask for? Or are we going or following a Western side of archangels?
Yeah,
So I gotta, if you can shed some light on it.
yeah.
Thank
So it's not about gods and goddesses. We have to focus on why they are gods and goddesses. So only when we ask why, then we will look deeper. We will begin to read between the lines. For example, if I read about someone's story, does not matter whether I believe whether they existed or not. We will not get into that because we are not archaeologists or historians. We don't know.
you.
But there is some story which is being offered to us, and that story has a message.
Yeah.
So I would do full justice to everything if I am able to pick up a message. If I am able to pick up the story of Ramji, which is being offered to me, I think my job is done. Then it does not matter because this is what they want. They don't want you to be remembering them. They want you to remember the very teaching, the legacy that they left. This is what they want. So, be it any kind of gods, any kind of god, and any kind of a divine image or a picture or angel or archangel, it does not matter. As long as we learn from their life, we take from their life. And this is what Patriji said. He said that we have to learn from everybody's life. There is a magazine we all have, Spiritual India, and in Hindi we call it Gyan Bharat, Dhyan. The same. We follow one master in in one magazine, and we read from their life. We understand from their challenges and struggles. If we are able to take the good from that, I think our job is done. This is what he said. He said, take good from everybody. We don't have to exclude anyone. We have to include everybody. Learn from their life, learn from their situations, learn from how their conduct was in the outside world, learn from how relationships, what kind of relationships they had, how did they maintain it, their spiritual experiences, their spiritual journey, their mystical experiences, learn from it. Rest, we leave it. This is not needed for us. We don't want to waste our time on this. Whether they exist or not does not matter.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Manjula, you're next. You can
Hi, Simmi.
unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Thank you so much for the session. I'm sorry I haven't heard the first half of the session because I was just putting my kid to sleep. Please excuse me if it has been covered. Um, so my question is probably it might not be relevant to the topic as well. Uh, like we are here, we have taken the birth to experience some things, right?
Yes.
in that process, a soul take negative experiences like abuse or those kind of things as a child. So when we grow up, we get all this knowledge of, you know, we are here to experience it, and then we try to heal. We try to attend inner child workshops. We try to meditate. I always have this doubt on whether it would be a lifelong practice to heal those things, and or will it be like something that we can, um, I know there is not like, it's not like instant coffee or something,
Yeah.
but I'm just curious about, when I first heard Eckhart Tolle's experience where he just, the pain body just came, like he just sat in meditation. It was not like a long process for him. So I felt like there is a way, maybe, just to let everything out, heal everything. So I'm just little curious about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
See, thank you. Thank you for this beautiful question. See, our evolution is a continuous process. And that's why we say it's a journey. It's more about journey than the destination. Okay. In the journey, we encounter several things. We encounter several situations, memories, challenges, good things, ups and downs, everything. Now, when we say about healing from the memories, we are nothing but the heaps of memories. If you keep picking up memories, there is no end to it. So if you want to put an end to it, awareness is the key. Right? There are some memories which could be very traumatic memories which can be processed. You can do that maybe 50, 60, 70, 100. But after that, you have to put a full stop. And how do you put that? You use the same thing of awareness in those memories. We don't have to keep repeating the work. Rather, we have to integrate it by the work of awareness. We live with all the awareness. When we begin to live with awareness, you will not create blocks. You will not create hurdles in your energy field. You might get some shocks, but you'll be able to overcome those shocks in the other moments. So you might have a dip, but eventually you will come up. So this is what the beauty of your own spiritual sadhana is, that you don't have to be dependent on different tools. Rather, awareness becomes the only tool. So this is what we need.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Just, if you don't mind, just a follow-up question.
Yeah.
So if you could give us a practical example, for example, so many things happen in our life, and then we might get triggered a lot of times. For example, if we have been judged as a child so much or shamed, which in such a way that made someone to attempt suicide, that much high. And then as you grew up, as you come into this path, you realize those things, that's not okay to harm yourself or something. But you do get triggered, right? If someone judged you or blamed you, you do get triggered, even though you're in this path. I know the awareness is very important, but if you could give us a practical example, a bit
Yeah.
detailed, that would be really helpful. Thank you.
Right. Right. So always remember, on this path of evolution, rather on the path of self-evolution, the focus is always on self. That means the halogen right is right up here. It is not on the others. Okay. When we are triggered by someone, the usual questions that happen to us is, why this person is doing this to me? Why can't they correct themselves? It pains me. So we try to focus and fix them. But in our self evolution, the focus is on us. And the focus says, if this person is triggering something in me, what are they trying to teach me? Because at the end of the day, trigger comes inside of me. Right? They are doing what they have to. If I am triggered, that means there is also something that I have to learn from it. For example, if I am manifesting similar kind of people in my life, right, I must stop and see what in me is attracting all of them. Why am I attracting betrayal one after the other, shame one after the other? Why people are giving me a rejection experience? I need to ask this question. When I ask this question, I look within and would realize that the other end of this rejection is inside of me. And most of the times, this rejection comes from our childhood or from our past life, or from maybe it is trailing down from our ancestry because our ancestors also had the experience of same shame coming downwards, right? To some extent, to have this understanding, we might need help. We might need somebody who could help us in understanding these patterns. But once you have understood those patterns, we must take the onus of healing the pain within, right? So asking one, the practical way is ask the right question, that what in me is, creating this. This is one way. The second is, once you see, let's say if I am triggered by somebody's anger, it speaks about two things. One, there is anger inside of me. Two, I'm judging angry people, let's say. Then I need to heal that part. I need to welcome, I need to open my heart, I need to learn to drop my judgment. So being non-judgmental and non-critical. So the more I am non-judgmental and non-critical of self, the more I'll be able to extend it to others. Then I'll be able to extend it to people who trigger me. And when the triggers have dropped, the learning is done. That means these people might fade away. Or same people who are there, they are no more going to trigger you because you have changed from inside and there are no residuals or the other end of the magnet inside. So this is what, ask the right question. That can be a beautiful way to open up things from within.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Really helpful.
Swarnajit, your turn.
Yeah, namaste, sir. I'm Suvarna from Dallas. It's a very, really beautiful session, sir. It's really strengthened me. You were whatever you said today. In my child, I have no questions, but I want to add something to your uh, topic that in my childhood, when I was in ninth or 10th grade, my Guruji said, go inside, there is a room, Akanda Jyoti is there, and you have to worship in front of that Akanda Jyoti. So I went inside, I saw Akanda Jyoti, and there is a frame. When I turned into that frame, I saw myself. I was shocked. He said that do namaskara in front of that, you have to sit for 5 minutes and come back. When I went there, there is a mirror. Means I have in that mirror and the Akhanda Jyoti in front of that mirror. So I don't know, I couldn't understand anything and I came back and I asked. He said that you are the God. You are the God. Now, when I started stopping worshipping idols, like in Ganesh Chaturthi, we bring that idol inside our house for 5 days. We will do externally. But now, from 3 years, I'm stopped because of Patriji's teachings. Sometimes I feel that whether I'm doing correct or not, I stopped this Ganesh and Varalakshmi Vrata and everything. But now, today, with your session, it strengthened my beliefs that yes, I'm doing right thing and I'm right. Thank you so much, sir, for your insights, beautiful insights. Thank you.
Thank you, Suvarna.
Okay,
Thank you.
Kanchan, it's your turn. I'd like to ask.
Namaste, Hitesh sir. First of all,
Namaste.
thank you so much for being
Thank
here in such a tight schedule. You gave us this opportunity. Sir, my question about we discussed about all the consciousness, like how the God realization is coming on. When we start realizing the part of Aham Brahmasmi, a part of the ego as being in a human behavior, it start coming in us, like it's keep on nagging down. So how and what we can work on so that we just remain away or be at least be aware that this ego is hitting us, and how we can be stay away from that.
So there is something called awareness. You have the awareness. There is also something called awareness of the awareness. Okay. So when you are aware of this ego, just be aware. Oh, there is a part inside of me who's coming from this space. You don't have to do anything. You just need to be okay with it. It is called awareness of the awareness. Okay. And once we are okay, it is called the spirit of okayness for everything. It is going to dissolve because some ego is needed for us. This body is made with an ego. If there would be no ego, there will be no boundary. My colors clothes are black, yours are of different color. It is because of the differentiation created by ego. If I want to drink water, I will say I want water, not you want water. So that differentiation, some ego is needed. That is going to be there. It's going to be for our help. But at the same time, when I say, oh, I am big, you are small, you are more, you am less, or sometimes, oh, I am less, you are more, the inferior and superior complexes, this is a kind of ego which we don't need. And for this, if we are aware of this, only just be aware. Don't try to change it. Don't try to shift it. Don't try to move it here and there. Don't try to fight with such kind of thoughts. That's it. Because thoughts are not you. Thoughts keep changing. The thoughts that you had tomorrow are, yesterday what you had as thoughts is not that you have it today. They're not going to be tomorrow and day after. That means they are shifting. That which is shifting, how can that be you? And therefore, tell yourself, even if this ego is coming, the center of this ego and non-ego is you. You are not the one who is ego and non-ego. You are the one who's sailing through both. You are that. So focus on that.
Having the experiences, like being in part of the consciousness, but again, you are the identity to have an experience.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for wonderful answer. Thank you.
Sam, it's your turn.
Namaste, sir. Thank you for your session. I think my question would be nursery question after the boundary answer. But it's a continuation of the question on healing that someone has already asked. Like when in the process of healing, um, it's very difficult to not judge people and draw a line whether a legal thing should be pursued or not. So my question is, in the spirituality path, in the meditation path, we don't want to judge, but we still have a sense of right and wrong. And if we keep fighting for right, like in the form of justice system, can we still continue with the path of spirituality, like
Of
oneness?
course. Of course you can. See, all what you are doing, I understand your question and what state you're coming from. I can understand that. All that you're doing is in the outside plane. Okay? Inside, you remain clear. You remain easy. Because spirituality is inside, it is the very root. It cannot be seen, and you're not here to answer anyone or to justify anyone. What you need to do is, even if, let's say, in the outside world, you have to take some harsh decisions or do whatever is needed, internally, for whomsoever you are taking that tough decision, stay non-judgmental and loving to them. Send them good vibes. Send them all the blessings that you want your way also. Okay? This way, we stay clear inside and balanced inside. Rest, it's an outside world, No, all the fingers are not equal. And therefore, some people would end up being happy with you. Some of them, they are going to hold a grudge towards you. It is not your peace. At the end of the day, what matters is you give your best. Ask yourself, am I giving my best by doing this? That's it. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the.
Shivani?
Hello, sir, and thank you for a wonderful session and very, very different topic and very insightful. My question is, when you see God, any God or goddess in your experience when you're doing meditation, what does it mean? Or what one should take a message from it, how to interpret it.
So the interpretation depends from person to person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you see that God defines the interpretation, defines the message for you? Okay. So, for example, if you see a snake,
Mm-hmm.
and if I see a snake, the way we interpret is going to define the essence and the message of it. So, ask yourself, what does it mean to me? What is that one quality of this God that I am attracted to? And that is the message for you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I also want to address one question which is there. Hi, Maddie. What is the why is the concept of after and before life stressed in the spiritual journey? Is it because of one's fear of one's death or the opposite? The reason I am always surprised by this point is that this is very sensitive area which is hard to believe unless you experience it yourself. Why can't the message be as simple as do good when you are here and when you can? Why does one has to know worry about previous and afterlives? No intention to argue this concept, but just an honest doubt. I wonder often. Please ignore if this is out of today's session. No, Maddie, this is absolutely fine to ask, and I'm happy that you have a healthy skeptic mind. It is needed for our own evolution. Okay. At the same time, uh, there are different ways to answer this question. Now, if I were to give you through a logical way, let's say if I pose a question, Maddie, if you're here, please listen to me because I don't see you here in the group, but I can pose this question to everybody out here. Let's say all of you go to sleep, okay? And then there comes a moment in your sleep when you don't even know what is your name, who are you, where are you, what is the misery of your life, what is the problem of your life. You don't even know that. Okay, there comes a moment. We don't even know, am I 5 years old or 50 years old? We don't know that. But the moment we are out of the sleep, we are back into the rut of life. We feel the misery and all of it. Where were we when we were in that deep space? Where were we? Ask this question. Okay, that means outside of my existence in this, because during that time I did not know I am a body. I did not even know my name. I did not know what is my problem, what is my misery. I don't know anything about me. Yet, the moment the awareness seeps in, I come back to the body. Where was I in between? What was I doing? What was I sucked up into? That sucking up says that you have an existence which is beyond this body. That means there is something more than this body. Okay, we have to look into that. And if there is existence beyond this body, this definitely brings to life which is outside of this body. Okay, I'm not saying on incarnation and reincarnation. You don't understand, don't want to be considering this, don't do that. It's perfectly all right. But there is one concept which I want to share, that there is something more than your body, mind, and emotions. There is something more, and that's what you can focus. That is number one. Number two, of course, we are here to do good. That is there. But that is the bare minimum that we can do here. It's a bare minimum. Why do I say this? It is bare minimum because doing good is not the only thing. You are here to know yourself. That is the thing we are here to. That is why we've taken birth. It's not about past lives or future lives. It's about using this life for your greater good. And doing good is just the level A. Knowing yourself is the next level. That's where we all have to go. And this is what we need to do. Okay. And I hope it is able to make some sense to you. Thank you very much.
And I have a question. If someone doesn't have a question. So, what I want to ask is if we are gods and we all are gods, so who's giving and who's receiving, like, in this transactional world, like in this world or the other world, like who is doing it? Because we are all one and we are
It is
gods.
you. It is
Huh?
you who is giving and receiving. It
Okay.
is you who is the observer and who is the observed and who is, being observed. It
Okay.
is
So,
you. Everything is you. There is
so
one,
mm,
yeah, I can give you a reference from an Upanishad, which we call as Kena Upanishad. Kena Upanishad.
mhm,
Kena means by whom. In English, it means by whom. So it
mhm,
speaks about by whom. Like you are speaking about by whom. By whom I'm receiving and giving. It's by whom. So
mm,
if I'm speaking by whom, by whose inspiration I'm speaking. If you guys are listening, by whose inspiration you're listening.
mm,
If you guys are, if we see sun, by whose inspiration it is shining, it speaks about that inspiration. It just raises questions. Kena means
mm,
raise questions. And ultimately, we will find out it is one supreme power which is doing everything.
mm.
So,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
that's what-
Thank you,
yeah. So it's
Master.
you everywhere. It is you. Everything is happening with you.
So I have another question quickly. Sorry. Can I ask another question? We have another question after that. So if I'm the giver and I'm the receiver, when I'm telling myself in a situation that I don't want to handle this because Simi is coming in between, so I tell Simi, you stay home. You are Simi and you are getting all these egoistic questions. I tell myself like this, stay home, but I'm going to go. So Simi, you stay here, but I'm going to go. Then I go and do the best I can as uh as as I am that. So when I come back, then I say to Simi, you have come back again when something happens. So if I am that and I'm receiving and I'm giving, why does this Simi keep coming up and I have to tell Simi, Simi, sit on the side. You're not coming with me. Simi, you have destroyed this thing. You stay here now because I am that and I am going. I am a better. So, what is that?
So the biggest uh, harm ego does to us is to create separation.
Uh-huh.
And that's what
Yes.
you're creating inside. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I would suggest not to separate this Simi and let her sit back at home. Be
Okay.
aware, welcome her, take her with you from the space I am, from
Okay.
that space. Because this I am includes that Simi also. Okay.
Okay.
That part. She's here with you. She's here to do some favor to you. That's
Okay.
why she's there. She's going to work in your favor. Maybe she
Okay.
ends up protecting you somewhere, which wherein we are not able to protect us.
Okay.
She does that work. So welcome her, don't separate her, and come from this space that I am whole and complete, and whatever I address, I'm going to address from this whole and complete state. That
Takes
is,
takes me with me.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah, we have uh Vigeshwari.
Yeah, Vigneshwari. Thank you, Simiji. Thank you so much, Hitesh sir, for today's session. This answered a lot of my questions towards the spiritual transition I'm experiencing. Um, so my question is, just while answering Simiji's first question, you ended up that question, the answer with the supreme power. So that again confused me. What is that supreme power? Is it God again? Is it uh, what is that supreme power?
So it is named in different ways. It is called the Supreme Self, the Supreme Being. It is called Brahman, the Brahm Tattva. It is called God, Light, Allah, Tao, whatever you call it. But it simply means it's inside and it is everywhere. That which sits inside of you is that which in everything sits. That which sits inside of you is in in which everything sits. So it's everything intertwined with each other, and that is why we call it as the element of oneness. It's not separate from you, it's inside of you. Rather, you are a part of it.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Kanchanji?
Sorry, sir. One more question came in. When you were saying for the Simi's question that we are the giver and we are the takers. If we are everything, how the role play of the karma is coming in between? What we are paying off, and this karma therapy theory is going on. A little understanding I have, like it's either it is the point of when we become separate, and that
Yeah.
when we do the things,
Yes.
and we want to listen more about on this, if how we can keep ourselves detached on it.
So when we begin to treat ourselves separate from the reality, separate from others, we become a dimension in our own self. Okay, when we become a dimension in our own self, which means mansa vacha karmana, whatever I have in my man, whatever I have it in my words, and whatever I have it in my actions, they are going to come back to this dimension. So that's how the karma game starts. When I am not into the zone of the small I, when I'm not separated from God, and I come from that space, that means I am not a separate dimension than God. Then God and me are the same dimensions. So whatever I do, it is not my karma, it goes to the Supreme Self. Therefore, karma becomes no karma. It becomes no karma because you begin to know you are not that good. So it is not me who's answering, it is not you who's listening. So who is praised? Not me. Who is rejected? Not me. It is something else. And when it is something else, then how can this be my karma? Okay. There
We
is,
detach ourselves with this, like we are doing an action every time, and this I keep on being with us, always be like with
yeah,
every line of action in your day-to-day life. We close ourselves in this I identity.
yeah, yes. So Vivekanand mentioned small I and big I. So we need to know about the big I, the capital I. Okay. So what we can do is whenever we receive an appreciation, tell yourself this is not me, this is not mine, it's somebody else. And even if we have a tough situation, tough time, this is not me, this is something else. I am just trying to give my best. I'm just uh, just giving as a medium or whatever is needed. I have no identity of my own. There is a beautiful quote by Lao Tzu. He said, before enlightenment I chopped woods, after enlightenment I chopped woods. So the work is same, but the state is different. Okay, who is chopping the woods matters now. We seek to that, and I can recommend one. In fact, so much of talk here is happening around Kena Upanishad. I would highly suggest you guys to please refer Kena Upanishad. Maybe one fine day, if it happens, I would be happy to take Kena Upanishad class for all of you, wherein we talk about by whom this happens, and what does it actually, mentions. So it's beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Masters, any other questions, sir? We can take any questions or we are
If
up
there are
with it.
questions.
I'll take the last question if no one has one. So, just when you said, like Kanchan said, about karma, I was thinking, my question is, you were saying like there is no good and bad. So, there is no good karma and bad karma, it's just a karma. You just, it's just a karma. And when people say to me, oh, I'm giving you a compliment, take it, Simmi. And I say, I don't take it like that way. So is it like they're saying to me, when we compliment you, why don't you take compliments? Why do you short yourself? It's for you only. And I say like, what you just said. So why is it taken socially that way if you don't take
So you
compliments?
take it. You take the compliment. At the
Okay.
same time, you don't have to tell them. I'm not.
Inside me, I have to just have that.
They might feel rejected. Okay.
That's what it is. Yes.
Inside, I know this is not me.
Yes.
Inside, I know that. So karma, another way to understand karma is created by attachment.
Mm.
Okay. So here, although your act is of non-attachment, that you're not attached to, this appreciation, but still because of this, you are getting into an attachment of maybe the loop of, this back and forth. This is creating more karma. So inside, even if it comes to you, thank you very much. I'm not attached to it inside. This we don't have to show it to anyone, but
Mhm.
inside I'm clear.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. You've answered a lot of my questions and everyone's. Thank you again for coming on our platform, PSSM Australia. We're really honored for your time, your wisdom, and all that we've learned from you. And hope to see you again on this platform. Again, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much. I think Kanchanji is the one who dropped me a message in the first place. Thank you very much. And Simmi ji, everybody, thank you for having me. And
Thank
I
you, sir.
thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm glad it's a beautiful group of curious people. It's roughly 10, 10, 6 in Australia, but I'm happy. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I have one thing that you said Kena Upanishad. So, which author will be the best to read? From which author?
So Kena is written by, you can read Sri M if you want.
TM.
Sri
Okay.
M, SRI and capital M. Sri M,
Yam. TM.
Eknath Iswaran. Eknath Iswaran.
Eknath.
Iswaran.
Yes, sir.
Iswaran, you can see that. And just see if there is some explanation coming from the Bihar School of Yoga also. You can also take that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
STM
Thank you.
and Iswaran can work
TM,
wonderful.
I know him very. I love him. I met him personally also. So he's a very good author. So I will definitely go for TM. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's a wonderful section. Actually, this section was truly wonderful. I learned so many valuable things that it deepened my understandings, and you gave me a new perspective on my spiritual journey, sir. Every point we discussed here is inspiring, um, inspiring, so much inspiring. So no words. So thank you, PSSM Australia and PSSM Dallas, for having this. Definitely a good. Means this 11 programs, we are taking so much insights from the masters like you, sir. You, whatever you said today is empowering. Thank you, Hitesh sir, and thank you, Simiji, for hosting, means leading this section, and thank you, entire the team. Friends, we will meet tomorrow, same time, with a new master. Same time, and we will meet. Thank you, every participants, and for every questions you ask. It's really helpful for others as well. Thank you for your participation. And thank you, sir, once again.
Thank
We'll
you.
end up the
Thank you.
section.
Thank you. Thank
See
you.
you all tomorrow. Good night and good day.
Thank you.
Yes.